half-court set.
No Tyler Hero in here, so they can they can switch everything, which they did.
Morant goes on Ware, step back, and
huge game winner. Take me through what you saw on that final possession.
A pigeon guard me, go get a bucket, win the game.
Ja Morant just can't stay out of the spotlight. Hours after the NBA warned him to drop a controversial gun gesture, the Memphis Grizzlies star defied the league, flashed it again, and then capped it off with a jaw-dropping game winner, leaving the basketball world buzzing and the NBA facing a tough call. Ja Morant is back in the headlines for all the wrong and right reasons. On Thursday night, during a nail-biting 110-108 victory over the Miami Heat, Morant didn't just sink a clutch step-back jumper at the buzzer to seal the win. He also reignited a firestorm by repeating a finger gun celebration, mimicking pulling a trigger with his hands, mere hours after the NBA explicitly warned him to stop. The league had just issued that warning earlier that day, following a similar incident in a game against the Golden State Warriors on Tuesday.
Morant had some form of gesture there. You can make that what you want. And then Buddy Hield kind of responded, so you have...
And Ja Morant in another jam. So we've had the gun issue with Ja Morant. He went viral. Actual guns with him.
The gesture came early in the first quarter, after Morant drained a three-pointer. It was subtle but unmistakable, a defiant nod to a celebration that's landed him in hot water before. Fans in Miami's Kaseya Center booed loudly, but Morant didn't flinch. By the end of the night, he'd turned their jeers into silence with 30 points, including that game winner over Heat rookie Kelly Ware. But the story doesn't end there. After the game, Morant faced the media and didn't hold back. "I was pretty much a villain for 2 years now," he said, his voice calm but edged with frustration. "Every little thing. If somebody can say something negative about me, it's going to be out there. Yeah, I don't care anymore."
They just woke me up for the second half, and I'm pretty sure they ain't happy going home now. So
You told me today that you want to get back to playing.
It was a raw, unfiltered moment, a superstar shrugging off the weight of scrutiny that's followed him since his rookie days. He also took a jab at the Miami crowd that fueled his fire. "The crowd getting to booing me, they just woke me up for the second half," he told reporters. "I'm pretty sure they ain't happy going home now." That defiance carried him to a monster second half, where he dropped 20 of his 30 points, grabbed 5 rebounds, and dished out 3 assists, all while battling foul trouble. NBA analyst Skip Bayless summed it up on X, "Crowd was getting on Ja in Miami. Then he got even in the second half, pouring in buckets, including a slick game-winning step back." What's striking here is Morant's refusal to back down, not from the league, not from the fans, and not from the narrative that's dogged him. But why does this gesture keep resurfacing, and why does it hit such a nerve? To understand the uproar, we need to rewind. Morant, a 2-time All-Star and one of the league's most electrifying talents, has a history with gun-related incidents that's impossible to ignore. In March 2023, he was suspended for 8 games after flashing a firearm on Instagram Live while at a Denver nightclub. Just months later, another video surfaced of him holding a gun in a car, leading to a hefty 25-game ban to start the 2023-24 season. The NBA, under Commissioner Adam Silver, made it clear this behavior wouldn't fly. Now, fast forward to this week. On Tuesday, during a 134-125 loss to the Warriors, Morant aimed the finger gun gesture at Golden State's bench, sparking an immediate league investigation. Warriors guard Buddy Hield fired back with the same move, and both players got technical fouls. The NBA's response? A warning to both, stating the gestures weren't violent but inappropriate and shouldn't happen again. Yet, less than 48 hours later, Morant did it again in Miami. Was it a calculated middle finger to the league, a heat-of-the-moment flex, or just a young star caught in a cycle he can't or won't break? Whatever the intent, it's thrust Morant back into a familiar spotlight, one that threatens to overshadow his brilliance on the court.
The other issue is something that we saw last night, where Steph was getting up and back with words, and then also this motion from Ja Morant. You see Buddy Hield.
Let's zoom out for a second. The Grizzlies needed this win badly. After dropping 4 straight games, their grip on the Western Conference's 6th seed was slipping at 22.9 points, 4.2 rebounds, and 7.3 assists per game. Morant remains the heartbeat of this team. Thursday's victory snapped Miami's 6-game streak and kept Memphis ahead of the Minnesota Timberwolves, who share the same record but lurk in 7th. But here's the catch. If the NBA escalates this latest gesture into a suspension, the Grizzlies could lose their star at a pivotal moment. With the postseason looming, every game counts. A source close to the team told The Athletic that Memphis is already on edge after firing head coach Taylor Jenkins last week, a move some link to maximizing Morant's potential. Another lost season isn't an option for a franchise banking on its young core to finally break through. For Morant, the stakes are personal too. "I want to get back to playing free," he said post-game. "I felt good tonight." That freedom showed. 11 of 22 shooting, 3 of 7 from deep. But it's tangled up in a pattern that keeps dragging him down.
Rebounding team and a poor defensive rebounding team. Zach Edey running the floor, the big man, and putting the 2 threes in a game. But Zach Edey.
So, what does the league do now? The NBA's initial warning was a slap on the wrist, no fine, no suspension, just a don't do it again. But Morant's repeat performance forces their hand. Will they double down with a punishment, risking accusations of targeting a player with a controversial past, or let it slide, potentially setting a precedent for others to test the boundaries? The league's decision, expected in the coming days, could ripple beyond Morant. Other players like Hield have used similar gestures without this level of backlash. At 25, Ja Morant stands at a crossroads. On one hand, he's a generational talent, explosive, clutch, and adored by fans for his fearless style. Thursday's 30-point masterpiece, capped by that buzzer beater, proves he can dominate when it matters. Quite a display. Bayless noted, "If only the Grizz could get that Ja every single night." On the other hand, these off-court and on-court antics keep piling up. The villain label he's embraced might fuel his edge, but it's also a liability. How long can he dance on this tightrope before it snaps? For every highlight reel moment, there's a shadow of controversy that threatens to define him. His teammates see the upside. "We just gotta keep it rolling," Morant said, eyeing a tough upcoming matchup with Detroit. But the question lingers. Can he channel that fire without burning himself and his team down?
Turns, hooks, gets in and foul. Hanging out and now Morant down low. You saw that little slide underneath.
Ja Morant's latest chapter is a paradox. A dazzling game winner that had fans on their feet, paired with a defiant gesture that sent shockwaves through the NBA. The move, bold and unapologetic, wasn't just a response to his critics, it was a statement. And then came his post-game words, "I don't care anymore." A simple phrase yet heavy with meaning. Was it frustration, rebellion, or a sign that Morant is ready to carve his own path regardless of the consequences? The league now finds itself at a crossroads. With the Memphis Grizzlies in a heated battle for a playoff spot, Morant is their undeniable X factor, capable of single-handedly shifting the tide of a game. But his actions have drawn scrutiny, and the NBA's response, or lack thereof, could set a precedent. Will they enforce discipline, reinforcing that no player is above the league's rules? Or will they allow Morant's raw talent to take center stage, banking on his ability to electrify crowds and keep ratings soaring? What do you think? Should the NBA intervene, or should they let Morant play his way and write his own legacy? Anthony Davis is about to shake up the NBA in a way no one saw coming. After weeks of uncertainty, endless debates, and rising doubts, the superstar big man has just made an announcement that could change everything for the Dallas Mavericks. The timing couldn't be more intense. Just as the Mavs fight for a playoff spot, Davis is reportedly eyeing a return during their upcoming road trip. But this isn't just about playing again. It's about proving something. Proving he's still a game changer. Proving the Mavs made the right move. Proving that even after setbacks, he's still one of the league's most dominant forces. But is this the comeback the Mavericks need, or a risky gamble that could backfire? Let's dive into the story. Anthony Davis is in increasingly strong contention to return during the Mavericks' upcoming 4-game road trip. This news comes after weeks of speculation about whether Davis would even play again this season. The road trip kicks off on Monday against the Brooklyn Nets, followed by games against the New York Knicks, Orlando Magic, and Chicago Bulls. But here's the twist. Davis isn't just returning to play. He's returning to prove something. Let's rewind to February 8th when Anthony Davis made his highly anticipated debut with the Mavericks. In just 31 minutes, Davis put up a monster stat line: 26 points, 16 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 blocks. The Mavericks defeated the Houston Rockets 116-105, and it seemed like Dallas had found their missing piece. But then, disaster struck. Davis suffered a left adductor strain, sidelining him indefinitely. To make matters worse, star guard Kyrie Irving tore his ACL just weeks later, leaving the Mavericks without 2 of their biggest stars.
What was just your feeling at that moment?
I think just in shock, but unfortunately, I've been in this league for a long, long time, so I've seen a lot.
Since his injury, Davis has been working tirelessly to get back on the court. He's been assigned to the Texas Legends, the Mavericks G League affiliate, to participate in 5-on-5 practices. Davis has looked strong in these sessions, showing no signs of setbacks. Head coach Jason Kidd even called it a positive day after Davis practiced alongside fellow injured centers Derek Lively II and Daniel Gafford. While there's no official timetable for his return, the buzz is growing louder. Davis could be back as soon as Monday. The Dallas Mavericks find themselves in a precarious yet promising position as they battle for a postseason berth. Currently, they are tied with the Phoenix Suns for the 10th seed in the Western Conference, the last available spot in the NBA's play-in tournament. With the regular season winding down, every game carries immense weight, and the Mavericks' path to the playoffs is anything but easy. However, they might have a significant advantage over their closest competitor. The Suns, their direct rival for that final play-in position, are staring down the toughest remaining schedule in the league. Their upcoming games include 2 brutal matchups against the Boston Celtics, the current Eastern Conference powerhouse, along with other formidable opponents. This grueling stretch could open the door for Dallas to capitalize and surge ahead at the right moment. But making that final push will require more than just favorable scheduling. It will demand standout performances from their key players, particularly Davis. Davis's presence on the court could be the game changer Dallas desperately needs. His ability to serve as both a defensive anchor and an offensive weapon has been sorely missed. Without him, the team has struggled with rim protection, rebounding, and consistent scoring in crucial moments. His return would not only bolster the Mavericks' chances of securing wins, but also provide a morale boost to the locker room as they gear up for a high-stakes battle. And let's not forget, Davis isn't just another star. He's a 10-time NBA All-Star with a championship pedigree. He knows what it takes to perform under pressure, and he's been in high-intensity situations before. His leadership, experience, and skill set could be exactly what Dallas needs to turn their season around. If there's anyone who can guide the Mavericks to an improbable playoff push, it's him. However, not everyone is convinced this is the right move. Some analysts worry that Davis might be pushing himself too hard too soon. ESPN's Tim McMahon reported that the Mavericks training staff has urged caution, fearing a re-aggravation of the injury. If Davis returns prematurely and suffers another setback, it could have long-term consequences for both him and the team. Remember, this is the same training staff that has faced criticism for mismanaging injuries this season, including P.J. Washington's early return from an ankle sprain and Jaden Hardy's recurring ankle issues. Beyond this season, Anthony Davis's return could have major implications for the Mavericks' future, shaping not only their short-term success, but also their long-term vision. Acquired in the blockbuster trade that sent Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers, Davis was expected to be the centerpiece of a new era in Dallas, one built around his defensive prowess, elite scoring ability, and championship pedigree. The franchise took a bold step in reshaping its identity, betting that Davis would not only maintain his All-NBA form, but also remain healthy enough to lead them deep into the postseason for years to come. However, injuries have long been a concern with Davis, and if this latest setback lingers or worsens, it could throw the Mavericks' future into question. A prolonged absence or recurring health issues could force the front office to reconsider their strategy, potentially leading to roster adjustments or even a complete reassessment of their championship window. The pressure is mounting, especially considering the massive trade package the Mavericks gave up to acquire him. If Davis cannot stay on the floor constantly, the deal that sent their former franchise star to Los Angeles could begin to look like a costly gamble rather than a franchise-defining move. Davis is eager to return, not just to help the Mavericks remain competitive, but also to validate the team's decision to opt for a non-surgical approach in managing his injury. If that decision proves to be the wrong one, Dallas could be staring at an even steeper uphill battle, not only for this season, but for the foreseeable future. A worst-case scenario might leave the Mavericks in a precarious position, scrambling to build around an injured star while facing limited flexibility in reshaping the roster. The stakes couldn't be higher, making Davis's recovery one of the most closely watched storylines in the league. Fans are divided on whether Davis should return now or wait until next season. Some argue that the Mavericks should focus on the future, especially with Kyrie Irving out for the season. Others believe Davis's return could spark a late-season surge and give the team a fighting chance in the playoffs. Meanwhile, NBA analysts are keeping a close eye on the situation. Former Lakers forward Markieff Morris recently weighed in, suggesting that Davis's playing style might not always mesh well with other stars, a comment that has reignited debates about his fit in Dallas. So what happens now? The Mavericks' upcoming road trip could be a make-or-break moment for their season. If Davis returns and performs at his usual elite level, Dallas could climb the standings and secure a playoff spot. But if he struggles or re-injures himself, it could spell disaster for a team already reeling from a tough season. One thing's for sure, all eyes will be on Anthony Davis as he steps back onto the court.
Minga gets a big ovation from the crowd.
And Curry's going to get one right now. Let's listen to this on a night where NBA history was made. Stephen Curry
Stephen Curry has done it again. The Golden State Warriors star guard has become the first player in NBA history to reach 4,000 three-pointers. This remarkable achievement occurred on March 13th, 2025, just one day before his 37th birthday, during a game against the Sacramento Kings at Chase Center in San Francisco.
Hit it on the number, man. It's a really cool milestone. See how far we can push this thing, but definitely a special time.
The historic moment came with 8:19 left in the third quarter. Curry received a pass from Moses Moody on the right wing, got Trey Lyles to bite on a pump fake, and fired away before DeMar DeRozan could close out. As the ball swished through the net, the crowd erupted. The Warriors went on to defeat the Kings 130-104, marking their 6th consecutive victory. Curry said, "I could feel the energy and the buzz from the beginning of the game after I made my first three. Even the second one I shot and missed, it was an adrenaline rush, and they were with me every moment of the game tonight. When that second one went in, I knew there was a lot of game left, so I tried to not get too ahead of myself. But it was a special moment to feel that energy and allow them to enjoy that milestone and accomplishment with me."
From the beginning of the game, after I made my first three, even the second one I shot and missed, like it was an adrenaline rush, and they were with me every moment of the game tonight. And when that second one went in, I knew there's a lot of game left, so I tried to not get too ahead of myself, but it was a special moment to feel that energy and allow them to enjoy that milestone and accomplishment with me.
Curry's path to 4,000 three-pointers began on October 30th, 2009 at Phoenix when he made his first career three. The journey included surpassing Ray Allen's previous record of 2,973 three-pointers on December 14th, 2021 at Madison Square Garden. Since breaking Allen's record, Curry has added another 1,026 three-pointers in just 1,185 days and 221 games. Curry told ESPN, "It's a clear milestone threshold, a number that I didn't think about, that it was realistic even from 2,974, which is a number that means the most because that was the record at the time. It's beyond my wildest dreams to push a record that far." The tribute video during a timeout included a congratulatory message from former Warriors big man Andris Biedrins of Latvia, who assisted on Curry's first career three-pointer. This brought an emotional reaction from Curry. Curry said, "I actually had, I'd call it an emotional moment on the bench when I saw him. They didn't tell me that they found him and got a video message from him. That was my vet when I was here my rookie year. I would love to have quizzed our team on the bench and see if anybody knew who that was, because that was such a long time ago. Really cool to kind of think back how far I've come from the first one to 4,000, which is crazy."